Today I'm reviewing 20 of the most viral moisturizers marketed for oily acne-prone skin, from affordable to K-beauty to luxury. And here's the crazy part. Most of them actually increase oil by lunchtime. Everyone thinks the fix is oil-free moisturizers. However, that's the exact trap the industry has built. But here's the good news. In the next few minutes, you'll know the exact ingredients that trigger oil rebound, the moisturizers that secretly clog pores, and the ones that keep you matte for 10 to 12 hours. So why listen to me? I'm one of the only medically qualified doctors and cosmetic formulators specifically for skin of color. I'm also an author with HarperCollins. I'll also expose one ingredient hiding in oil-free creams that's more comedogenic than coconut oil, and it's inside most moisturizers you probably own. If you have a question on acne, make sure you join our online YouTube community. All you have to do is subscribe and hit the notification bell. Double check if you think you've done it, because what it means is that you know that I'm in the comment section for 1 hour at the launch of every YouTube video. This means you get direct access to me. But also, if you join our online YouTube community, you get to ask questions in the community tab, and we all get to respond to each other. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do it now. Let's start by explaining, how does a spot form and why does it happen during puberty so much? What happens during puberty is we have increased androgen, so increased testosterone. As that happens, we get increased sebum production. So that's the oil that's forming in the sebaceous gland. So imagine this is your skin, oil is forming. Now, that on its own would be okay. You would just have oily skin. It would just come out the pore and it would just have quite shiny skin. Some people do. But what also starts to happen is something called hyperkeratinization. That's sticky skin cells at the top of the pore, which then forms a plug. Now imagine we've got this sebum that's filling up here and we've got a plug that's formed here. Guess what we're lacking? We are now lacking oxygen. And guess which bacteria loves to replicate when there's no oxygen? P. acnes bacteria. So now we've created like a pot for P. acnes bacteria to feed on all that sebum. This produces something called free fatty acids. Free fatty acids are highly irritating. It triggers the melanocyte, the cell producing the pigment melanin. Now here's the kicker. For skin of color, we have the same number of melanocytes as Caucasian skin, but the melanocyte is 2 to 3 times more reactive. It is larger. It is ready to fire out melanin. It gets angry so quickly that if you're not educated about your skin, it's not gonna like it. It will start to pigment. Moving on to the peach, 77% niacinamide enriched cream. So this is what it looks like inside. Ooh, I do love it. You know when I have that baby pink, like powder pink glow? It looks like slime. You can tell I have kids, can't you? All right, so, ooh, nice. That is gorgeous inside. That is very satisfying. You can see how this kind of thing just goes so viral. So that's how it looks. A very light gel. This is a moisturizer. I call it enriched cream. I would call this more of a gel, not really a cream. Okay, so let's see what's in this product. So in here, they've got peach fruit extract. That's a humectant, which is great, holds water in the top layer of skin. Second ingredient is glycerin. That's another humectant. Fourth ingredient in here is niacinamide. I love niacinamide. Niacinamide in the 2 to 5% range is perfect for damaged skin barrier, for oily acne-prone skin, or if you're trying to minimize pores. It's just, niacinamide is an ingredient that really we should all have in our whole range, unless you're allergic to niacinamide, which is very, very, very low percentage of the population. The sixth ingredient in here is lactobacillus ferment, which is a conditioner of the skin. You find it in a lot of high-end products, ferment, and I work with ferment in our Dr. V daily range. It's something I'm actually working with more. As we go along, actually more clinical data is coming out on ferment, and so it's an ingredient I love. In here, they've also put in ceramides, which is excellent because don't forget, skin of color has less ceramides than Caucasian skin, so we need ceramides in our skincare to make our skin glow. I actually almost love this product, but they did one huge mistake. And that is that they added fragrance, which was completely unnecessary. And if they hadn't, I would have recommended this for people with sensitive, oily, acne-prone skin. However, this is not going to work for someone with dry skin anyway. And the fragrance in it means that you're not going to wear it if you have oily, acne-prone skin, because you already have inflamed skin. So for me, unfortunately, this product is also a no. Moving on to Cherry Blossom Glow Jelly Cream. I mean, I have to say, I'm really excited just by the name of this product, because who doesn't want a jelly cream? If I was gonna make a kid's product, it would be a jelly something. Okay, so here we go with the same situation with the moisturizer. Ooh, I like how it looks. So that is so beautiful. I can see this being so Instagrammable. It literally just looks like solid water. Oh, that is so satisfying. I love this. This is so lightweight. If you have very oily skin, you're just gonna want something like this that looks like it's just water, but in a gel. It's probably the most beautiful looking gel moisturizer I've come across so far. Let's see what's actually in here. So in here, we have the third ingredient in here is niacinamide, which I love, well done. But then it's just fragrance, and there's no other actives in here that's going to help you with glow of the skin. What is their claims? It brightens. It's not going to brighten the skin. There's no tyrosinase inhibitors in here to brighten the skin. You're not really going to get a glow from this. You might get a nice warm fuzzy feeling because it is a beautiful product, but it's not one I'd recommend for you or your kids. So that's the other one. I can imagine this going viral on social media and children buying this. This is not one to buy because it's got fragrance in it, and actually is really not hydrating enough. We do actually need more fats in this product for you to have a long-lasting hydration. This, after an hour, your skin is going to start to feel tight. So unfortunately, this is another no.
Now, if you have oily skin, you want to go for a moisturizer with a high water content and a low fat content. So the ones I like, they tend to be more gels. So the first one is the Facetheory Supergel. This is basically a simple gel moisturizer, and it does contain some anti-inflammatories. The second one is Byoma Moisturizing Gel Cream. This has got ceramides and niacinamide in it. It's a light moisturizer. It's in cute packaging, and actually teens love it. So that's one, as a parent, I would purchase. The next one is Bubbles. Again, it's very cute packaging, great for, young people. Use the Level Up Gel Moisturizer. It's got niacinamide in it, nothing else. So if you had to pick between Byoma and Bubbles, I'd probably pick Byoma, but Bubbles is good too.
Okay, so the first one was a bit of a shocker for me. It's the Ultra Facial Oil-Free Gel Cream, and it's a huge hit in terms of being a bestseller. So the fourth ingredient here is denatured alcohol. As you all know, denatured alcohol leads to increased free radicals in the skin. Now, this is already not a good idea because that leads to premature aging, etc. But imagine you've actually got inflamed, acne-prone skin where you've already got free fatty acids in your skin that's already irritating your skin, and now you go and put something on the skin that encourages free radicals to further irritate the skin. It's a bad idea. It's not a good idea. You really should avoid that ingredient when you've got inflamed skin. In addition, if you're getting red marks after acne, so PIE, post-inflammatory erythema, something like increasing your free radicals can actually worsen that and is harder to get rid of if you're continuously irritating the skin at the same time. This one I would avoid. The next product is the Roche-posay Effaclar Mat. Here, the fifth ingredient here is isocetyl stearate, which is 5 out of 5 on the comedogenic scale. I mean, why would you use this ingredient in a product that's meant to be non-comedogenic? So that's not a good idea. And the sixth ingredient in this particular product is also denatured alcohol. So again, for all the above reasons, you don't want to have any denatured alcohol in your moisturizer. I highly recommend that if you have oily acne-prone skin, please go and have a look at the moisturizer, go and have a look at the back and look for denatured alcohol. Also look for these other words I'm about to go through because they tend to be in a lot of these moisturizers. So you can almost, do half the work yourself. So again, avoid the Roche-posay Effaclar Mat. Okay, so the next product is Neutrogena, which is oil-free acne moisturizer. I mean, they've literally put oil-free acne moisturizer on the bottle. Okay, so these are the ingredients in it. It's got cetyl alcohol, which is 2 out of 5 on the comedogenic scale. It's got stearate 20, which is 2 out of 5. And it's also got stearate 2, which is also 2 out of 5 on the comedogenic scale. Ideally, if you're going to make a cream for acne-prone skin, you want to have 1 out of 5 max on the comedogenic scale for any of the ingredients. In addition, they added fragrance. As you all know, fragrance is the #1 cause of contact dermatitis. That's right. And it's also got citrus extract, which is a skin sensitizer. Not a good idea. You've already got irritated, inflamed skin that's crying out for love and help. And then you go in with some citrus. It is bad idea. Then we've got Dermatologica Calm Water. So this is sterile haptenoate, which is 4 out of 5 on the comedogenic scale. They also added Lavendula, which is basically just lavender essential oil. Now, as you all know, essential oil is not your friend. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to put essential oils into creams. I'm pretty sure it was to give you this whole experience of, soothing experience, but your skin is crying. And if you're doing skincare and you actually care about your skin, then don't upset it. Just don't put things on it that are going to make it cry. You can put your smells all over your bedroom. You can put your smells all over your clothes, but leave your skin alone is really what I would say, because essential oil is fragrant. It is volatile and it sensitizes the skin. Often you'll find for years. This is where the problem is. You could be applying it for years and be fine. And then suddenly your skin starts becoming irritated and you don't know why, because you're thinking, hold on, I've been wearing that product for ages. Why suddenly now, am I reacting? Has something happened to my skin? Is it me? No, it's not you. It's the product. Just avoid anything with lavender oil for skincare. They've also got linalool, limonene in it too, which are fragrances. As you all know, fragrance shouldn't be worn at all, especially not if you've already got irritated, acne-prone skin.
Hey, listen, 90% of you haven't actually subscribed to this channel. That means that you're missing out on direct contact with me, because what I do is for the first hour of every video, I'm in the comment section. Plus, it means you get to join our online community in YouTube. You get to ask me questions on YouTube itself. So if you haven't subscribed and hit the notification bell, what are you waiting for? Do it now.
Cetaphil Pro Derm Control. If you like a chemical sunscreen, it has these ingredients in it too. So it's got avobenzone, it's got octisalate, and it's got octocrylene. It's got no ingredients in it that are going to clog the pores, so it is non-comedogenic. It's also got emollients in it. So the ones that it's got is glycerin, it's got dimethicone, and it's got pentylene glycol. It's also got anti-inflammatory ingredients. So it's got allantoin in it. Yes, that's hard to say. And it's also got panthenol in it too. It's got micropel technology, which means it gives you a matte finish. It's also got no fragrance or irritants in it, which is essential when it comes to inflamed acne-prone skin. Don't forget that when you have acne-prone skin, there's constant inflammation taking place in your skin. Those free fatty acids that are being released are irritating your skin, and that's what triggers PIE, post-inflammatory erythema, and PIH, so the red marks and the brown marks. In fact, I've made separate videos on the red acne marks and the brown acne marks, so it's worth going over and watching those as well if that's one of your issues. I do tend to prefer a separate moisturizer to your sunblock because it's very hard to get sufficient hydration from a sunblock, just because they do two completely different things. One is hydrating and the other one is blocking. So, when you combine the two together, you don't necessarily get the maximum benefit. So I do tend to prefer two separate products. And I also tend to prefer physical sunscreen over chemical sunscreen, especially if you've got pigmentation, because don't forget the way a chemical sunscreen works. It's a chemical bond on the skin. UV will come, it will split that bond, and there's a thermal reaction on the skin. And that's the reason I love physical sunscreens, because it literally just reflects the UV and you don't get that thermal energy on the skin. So this is the oil absorbing moisturizer. It does, however, also still have those same chemical sunblocks. So it's got avobenzone, octisalate, and it's got octocrylene as well, for exactly the same reasons. If you like that, great. If you prefer separate, then this is probably not the best product for you. However, it does have good emollients in it too. It's got capryl glycol, it's got glycerin, and it's got dimethicone as well. It's also got the same anti-inflammatory. So it's got allantoin and panthenol too, which is very nice and important actually when you have inflamed acne-prone skin.
So Trio Blemish tackles all 3 blemishes and is a 4-piece kit. It's got your face wash, it's got your exfoliator, your AM gel, which is safe to use during the day when sun is hitting the skin, and your PM gel, which is really when you're combating the additional blemishes, and it's best to do at nighttime when there's no UV. That's why I created 2 different gel moisturizers for your face. So the routine is very simple. So in the morning, if you have very oily acne-prone skin, then I recommend you use these 3 products together. So this is your salicylic acid face wash, your exfoliator, I use salicylic acid, and then your AM gel moisturizer. And in the evening, you just swap out the AM gel moisturizer for the PM gel moisturizer. moisturizer. So again, face wash, exfoliator, and PM gel. It couldn't be simpler. I'm now going to go through the ingredients of everything. But first, let's talk about why you get acne. What exactly is happening in the skin? So usually during puberty, we have an increase of estrogen and also an increase of testosterone, and this stimulates more sebum production. Some people have pores that are just easier to clog. They may be narrower. This tends to be genetic. So there is a genetic component to acne, but the pathology tends to be the same, meaning increased sebum production, followed by sticky skin cells at the top, which clogs the pore. This then creates an anaerobic environment, i.e. no oxygen. And this is really where P. acnes bacteria loves to basically replicate. As it's replicating, it's basically causing the pore to bulge, and that can lead to pain. This will then damage the capillaries around it, so the blood vessels, and this leads to red marks, i.e. PIE. But in addition, this inflammation can lead to triggering of the melanocyte, the cell that produces the pigment melanin. And so this leads to PIH, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. And this is why in the skin of color, we get all three, not only the acne, we also get the red marks and the brown marks. So Trio Blemish works by attacking 4 different pain points of this acne pathway. So the first thing it does is basically reduces sebum production by using niacinamide. It then causes the skin cells to be less sticky by using retinol and retinaldehyde. It also unclogs the pore by using fat-soluble salicylic acid, and it also kills the P. acnes bacteria by using our trademarked Acne Calm complex. So starting off with the face wash. In this face wash, we put niacinamide to control sebum, salicylic acid to unclog the pore, glycerin to hydrate the skin. The biggest mistake that happens with salicylic acid is that it can dry the skin, and you don't want that. You want to use humectants in it. We also put Acne Calm in here, which it helps to poison the P. acnes bacteria. Then when you exfoliate, this has 2% salicylic acid, which is the ideal percentage when you're dealing with oily acne prone skin. It's also got 5% glycerin in it, so this doesn't dry your skin like most salicylic acid exfoliators. And we also put in here green tea extract plus sage, and that will basically calm the skin down when you are exfoliating, especially if you're doing it twice a day. Then moving on to your AM gel. In here, we've put in 2% niacinamide, which helps control your sebum production, 2% sodium ascorbate phosphate, so that's your water-soluble vitamin C, plus your 3% glycerin. So this is basically going to help you also hydrate the skin. I also loaded this with anti-inflammatories. Your skin is already inflamed from acne. So in here, we've got panthenol, green tea extract, allantoin, and arnica. Now, the PM gel is very exciting. The PM gel is loaded with your tyrosinase inhibitors, starting with your alpha-arbutin and your ferulic acid. Plus, it's got 2 forms of vitamin C. So it's got your sodium ascorbate phosphate, water-soluble vitamin C, and your tetrahexyldecyl-ascorbate, your fat-soluble vitamin C, which is why this also helps with scarring. I also put in niacinamide, which does multiple things. It helps with your controlling sebum production, but it also soothes the skin barrier and repairs the skin barrier and helps with red marks. And this has also got your retinol, your retinaldehyde, and it's also got ceramides, plus of course your Acne Calm. So we really did put a lot in this gel. So just to show you what it looks like. So it's an airless pump, which is very important when you're dealing with antioxidants. You can see the gel-like consistency, and it's very lightweight. It's non-sticky, and you can put it on at night, a couple of hours before bed, to allow it to work before you put your face onto the pillowcase. So who is this range for? This range actually starts from pre-teen. So I made it gentle and hydrating and loaded with anti-inflammatories because it's for skin of color. So you can start this if you just have oily skin and it's starting to become congested, which is important because for skin of color, we really don't want it to get to the acne stage if we can avoid it. Good skincare from the beginning, where you're controlling sebum production and you're unclogging pores as best as you can, is going to put you in a better position when it comes to your teenage years. So I'm happy for you to start this range really from 12 years old. At the same time, I put in retinol and retinaldehyde, which are great for anti-aging. So it's even good for adult acne where fine lines are starting to become more of an issue. It's also a great range for those who are trying to minimize pores, and this can become more of an issue with age as well. And also those who are trying to tackle blackheads. We also did independent clinical studies on Trio Blemish, and these were the results. They were done on 37 candidates on skin of color from 25 years old to 55 years old. The immediate immediate use, 95% said the skin texture felt smoother, and 95% also said that the system was easy to use. After 4 weeks, 78% said skin oil control had improved, 70% said that blackheads and pores had minimized, and after 8 weeks, 70% had said their acne had improved, and 78% said their skin felt more supple. So what I would say with this, based on the clinical data, you really want to stick with this for a good 8 to 12 weeks to start to see the results that you want. And the most important part of this data was that there were 0 reactions. And that's very rare when you're trying to treat a condition and you are using many actives combined. So that was the thing that I was most happy about, was that there was 0 reactions, and I felt confident to say that this is great for skin of color. For those of you who are concerned about anti-aging, so just so you know the correct percentages of retinol and retinaldehyde in this, it's got 0.1% retinol plus 0.01% retinaldehyde. So retinaldehyde works 11 times faster than retinol. It is my favorite vitamin A by far, and it has 0 irritation, which is really key. And that's why I really wanted to add it to this range. It's great for acne, but it's also great for anti-aging.
Okay, so the next product is the original solid jar. So here is really clear. Every formulator has got their own signature. The reason we have a signature is because, say for example, if you come into my laboratory, you'll see that there's one section that's evidently missing, and that's a fragrance section. We don't have a fragrance in my factory. However, we have a ton of niacinamide. And so you will see niacinamide in every single one of my products. We have a ton of tetrahexyl decathloscorbate. You'll see that in every single one of my products. We have a ton of sodium ascorbate phosphate. You'll see that in all my products, etc. Octadecanoic acid, azelaic acid. There's certain ingredients that are great for skin of color, and I buy them, 50 kg drums. Like, the drums are so big that I can fit my body in them, literally. So here, for example, to give you an example, here, the 4th ingredient here is theobroma cacao. So exactly the same ingredient that was in their cocoa butter, which has got 4 out of 5 on the comedogenic scale. And they've also put in isopropyl myristate, which is 5 out of 5 on the comedogenic scale. Avoid if you have, again, oily acne prone skin. They've also put in benzyl cinnamate, which is fragrance. And as you know, I'm not a fan of fragrance. Number 1 cause of contact dermatitis, and I just rather avoid that really for our skin. However, definitely avoid if you have acne. Their moisturizing cream. Now, the second ingredient here is petrolatum. Now, this is a fantastic emollient, meaning what it does is, imagine your skin cells are all a little bit shriveled and curled at the top. Emollient just smooths out the edges so that you get even reflection of light. And that's what gives you that flawless looking skin. And that's why the difference between moisturizing and not moisturizing is dull skin and then skin that looks brighter. However, what I would say, because the second ingredient here is petrolatum, I would only really use this for very dry skin. So eczema prone skin, I would avoid it if you have oily acne prone skin. It's also got some great moisturizers in it. It's got sorbitol in it and propylene glycol in it too. So it is going to be a very hydrating cream. And actually, if you have dry skin, this is going to be a savior. So I absolutely love this product. It has no fragrance in it, no irritants in it, no skin sensitizers in it. So this one's very good for skin of color. Moving on to the next product, which is the oil-free face moisturizer. I'm assuming this is meant for oily acne prone skin because it says fragrance-free and non-comedogenic. So of course, I got excited. I thought, finally, we're going to have a really great product that I can tell you to go and buy. And here's the deal. The positives are it has a lot of emollients in it and moisturizers. So it's got glycerin, it's got dimethicone, it's got petrolatum, it's got cyclomethicone, it's got soybean sterols. So I'm very happy with all these ingredients. The third ingredient, however, which means it's at a high percentage, is ethyl hexyl palmitate, which is 4 out of 10 on the comedogenic scale. And the 8th ingredient is isopropyl isostearate, which is 5 out of 10 on the comedogenic scale, which means they're actually, I wouldn't call this non-comedogenic. I'd say I'd avoid it if you had acne. It's a shame because it's non-fragrant and there's no need to apply these 2 ingredients. I'd probably say I wouldn't actually buy this if I had oily acne prone skin. Okay, moving on to the next product is a squalene probiotic gel moisturizer. This is $52. Again, it is quite expensive. I think this whole brand is actually quite expensive. I do like the fact that this is NAF safe and contains non-comedogenic ingredients. So it is working for the purpose of oily acne prone skin. It's a simple anti-inflammatory gel-based
moisturizer, but it doesn't really contain any actives for acne, for oily skin, or for pigmentation. If I was going to formulate a moisturizer for oily acne-prone skin, I would want it to be more than just an anti-inflammatory light cream. You'd want to put in actives to actually combat the issue. So it is a soothing light moisturizer. I would try it. I'd recommend it if your main issue is just that you want a light moisturizer. But again, I'm not blown away by the formula.
Okay, so the next product we're going to talk about is Oh So Simple Water Cream. Again, I love this. A very short ingredients list, very simple. There's nothing in it that's going to irritate and added unnecessarily. So here they've got butylene glycol, squalene. These are great moisturizers. It's got bihanol alcohol in it. And some of you might be thinking that this is a drying alcohol. It's not. It's actually usually plant derived and it's a thickening agent. So it's a good ingredient. It behaves like a fatty alcohol, which are good for your skin. If you want to know about alcohol in skin, make sure you watch my good and bad alcohol videos. Good and bad alcohols in skincare video. Get it right, Dr. V. Okay. So with this one, I'd say it's also non-comedogenic. I love so many moisturizers out there say that they're non-comedogenic, and then you go through the ingredients list and there are comedogenic ingredients in there. This is not one of them. In fact, she hasn't even advertised this as non-comedogenic, but it is non-comedogenic. So I like it. Even if you have oily skin, this is good for you. So well done, Craig. Well done, Leah Yu. I am impressed, which is actually not easy to do. That was my poem for the day. What do you think? Terrible. It was terrible, be honest.
Hydraderm Kiehl moisturizing cream, and the ingredients weren't on the website, which wasn't ideal. So I had to go and find it from another website, but really all ingredients should be on the manufacturer's website. And it contained denatured alcohol, Prunus amygdalis dulcis oil, which is 3 out of 5 on the comedogenic scale. So that means I wouldn't use this product if you have oily acne-prone skin. It contained parfum and D-limonene. So limonene is another fragrance. And it's a little bit frustrating because say you want to avoid a product with fragrance in it, but you don't know that limonene or geraniol are fragrances. How would you know that this is now a fragrance-free product? A lot of products even say fragrance-free and then have limonene in it. And I know that that's a fragrance and they really shouldn't be writing fragrance-free. Some of the major companies do this too. But hopefully if you've watched enough of my videos, you'll be able to recognize all of these little marketing tricks and not fall for them.
Okay, so moving on to the next product, which is a Niacinamide Gel 5%. Okay, I love this product. Oh, you don't understand how many brands that I've reviewed, and I'm just by the end of it, I'm just so depressed. I feel like I haven't given you any value, but this, yay! So the second ingredient here is dimethicone, which is a great emollient. It's got niacinamide. As you know, I do love niacinamide. Niacinamide basically does everything. It controls your sebum levels. If you have acne, it helps to minimize your pore size. It helps with any erythema, so redness of the skin, helps with texture, helps with pigmentation, although on a much smaller scale, because with pigmentation and skin of color, you know that you need multiple actives, but it is one of the actives. So it's a fantastic ingredient. Very few people react with it. It's got, again, remember I told you in one of my other videos, whenever something is good in a brand, they tend to systematically put it in everything. But also if something's bad in a brand, they'll also systematically put it in everything. So whether it's fragrance or comedogenic ingredient. Here they put in Kappa ficus extract and also Ultramonas extract. So it's a very hydrating, this product. It's got no fragrance in it, nothing in it that should hopefully break you out. Sometimes people do purge with niacinamide for some reason. It's very rare, but it can happen. So with this particular product, I would wear this after my actives. So I put in my serums first, a special vitamin A or any other things that you need to hit the skin first. And then I put this on top. Okay, so moving on to the last part of the kit is the Acne Solutions Clearing Moisturizer. I am not a fan. The fourth ingredient is witch hazel, which we've already discussed. It's just not great for oily skin. It's a cheap trick to convince you that you're taking the oil off the skin, but you're not. And then I went and added menthol. Menthol is one of the worst fragrances. It's very sensitizing to the skin. And why would you do this to skin that's already inflamed? Acne equals inflammation. Make no mistake, when you have acne, you've got free fatty acids in the skin that is irritating your skin, and that is what's leading to the redness and the pigmentation. That is what's triggering your melanocytes, nothing else. It's the free fatty acids and the inflammation. The skin is sensitive and you have to be careful with your skin. You shouldn't be applying fragrance to your skin. And to add menthol in a kit that was for acne. Why? It's a little bit like when my daughter says, oh, mummy, you know, I ate a polo, so I don't need to brush my teeth. If I go to the dentist and tell her that, oh, it's cheating. I think the reason they put menthol in is so that you feel fresh and you feel like you're doing good things for your skin. And it's not fair because, you know, you want to be doing good things for your skin. You're not spending this money to get no results, you know? The least you can do is at least educate yourself. And so you know to look on the packaging to, again, avoid menthol. On the plus points of this particular product, it does have a lot of good moisturizers in it. So it's got sucrose, acetylglucosamine, algae extract, and glycerin. However, this product has no other actives other than salicylic acid. So, you know, it's got a basic acid in it and then irritating ingredients in it too. So I'm really sorry. I'm very unimpressed with this kit and these formulations. I would personally say save your £25 and buy something else. I'm sure there are some people who are going to write in the comment section, Dr. Rattan, I love this kit. It was great and brilliant. If it was good for you, that's fantastic. But really, I'm here to protect the majority of skin of color, and in all good conscience, I can't really recommend this kit. I'm sorry. The last product and my favorite is CeraVe. So actually just the ordinary CeraVe, not even the one that's for oily skin. I don't actually like that product. The original CeraVe formulation is fantastic for oily, acne-prone skin for a number of reasons. So it's got glycerin, petrolatum, dimethicone. So these are the emollients. These are the humectants. It's also got ceramides in it, which is very good for skin hydration and also skin repair. So don't forget, we're going through this inflammatory process. We need to be constantly repairing the skin at the same time. And the reason it's my favorite is because there's no chemical sunscreen in it. So it's also got no fragrance and no actives. None of the three have got any fragrance or actives, which is why I'm recommending it to you. But this one, I love that you can apply your CeraVe moisturizer and then you can apply your physical sunscreen on top. And so you're literally getting the best of both. If you want to know about physical sunscreens, I've got two videos. One is called Chemical versus Physical. If you want to educate yourself on what's the difference, you know, what's Dr. V talking about? Or if you already know about that and you just want to know the best, my top 3 physical sunscreen for the skin of color, head over and watch that video. It's a short video and it's just gets to the point.
Want to learn more about acne skincare? Watch this video.